What up YouTube, Casemus Prime here back at you with another video. This is one that is actually a bit of a sentiment, or a bit of sentiment value to me, and also kind of something that I've featured a couple times on my channel, but I've never actually featured until now, because I really don't know why I never did, but now I actually have a reason. As many of you know from my channel's beginning, or if you know me in my personal life outside of YouTube, I am a ravaging fan of NHL hockey. I love the sport, it's a great game, and I even played it for a long time until I was medically retired 3 years ago. And obviously you can tell my favorite team has always been and always will be the Anaheim Ducks. From the minute I first laced up a pair of skates and put a stick in my hand, Ducks were always my team. And there was one player on that team who I actually admired the most. Before Ryan Getzlaf, before Corey Perry, but also around the same generation as probably Scott Niedermayer. A player I idolized and was my favorite player in the NHL was Teemu Selanne. Came from Finland, he's been with the team since 1993, and he was a legend. He was one of the leading scorers in the NHL and for the Ducks since their inception back in 1993. And for those of you guys who don't know, at the end of their last game last season where they played against the Kings, Teemu Selanne officially announced his retirement from hockey. And tonight in Anaheim, tonight's game against Winnipeg is in honor of him. Before the game started, his number was hoisted up in the arena, and I'm losing my train of thought here. But during the warm-ups, every player wore one of his jerseys from the past, from up until now, all the way back to the beginning, in honor of him, with his 8, his 13, his alternate A, his name on the back. They all wore them for the tryout, for the warm-ups. And even during the ceremony where his number was lifted to the arena. And he may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. Now, I can tell you that after tonight, all Teemu Selanne memorabilia is going to skyrocket in price. Whether it be t-shirts, posters. I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt under this jersey that has his name and number on the back that I got 3 years ago, and I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. But I'm actually here to show you probably my pride and joy of my hockey collection, and something that really does go out to Teemu Selanne, and it's this right here. This is an Anaheim Ducks Wild Wing mask, but as you can see there, it's signed by Teemu Selanne. This is basically just kind of a quick review. It's also kind of dusty because it's been hanging on my mirror. For those of you guys who might not remember this particular collectible, this came out in the late 90s and early 2000s, mainly to promote not only just the hockey team, but also the 1996 Mighty Ducks cartoon that aired on Disney Channel and Toon Disney. This basically, if you watch the cartoon like I did growing up, you'll remember this. This was the mask of Drake Duquesne that was worn by a Wild Wing, who not only was a character on the show, but he's also the real-life mascot of the Anaheim Ducks. It's basically just a kind of a AVS plastic mask. This is not a thing you could use for goaltending, so I would not recommend putting this on while you're guarding pucks, but it's definitely something unique. Has a little bit of foam here on the back and it's along with a strap. But the reason this thing is of so much sentimental value is I got this autographed by autographed by Teemu Selanne. Unfortunately, I did not actually get this hand signed by him. My mother actually, I went to a Ducks-Panthers game about 4 years ago, and I won this in a silent auction. Hand signed by Teemu, and I think this was actually donated. And since it's signed by Teemu, it just increases its personal value to me. Now I know you're thinking, how much does something like this cost? Well, when I got it 4 years ago, it was $300. So I can only imagine how much it's going to go up in value after tonight's game, win or lose against Winnipeg. But it's a good mask. I mean, you can wear it if you want. This is how it fits, but it's really not meant to guard your identity or anything. But the fact it's signed by Teemu Selanne is... it's better than any other autographed memorabilia I have. I mean, my two signed sticks, my team signed jerseys, even my pennant that I got at opening night last year, none of those compared to the value that this thing has to me. And if you can find something autographed by Teemu Selanne, I say get it. Teemu Selanne was a legend in his own right. He's been with the team for a very long time. He was one of the two... if it weren't for Scott Niedermayer, he probably would have been the one who won the MVP award when they won the Stanley Cup back in 2007. I mean, I remember that game just sitting there on my couch and begging or just cheering my team on and hoping maybe Solane would get MVP. I mean, I was okay with Scott Niedermayer, but let's be honest, Teemu's where it's at. So if you can find any sort of memorabilia for Solane, whether it be from the Ducks or any part of his career, I'd say get it. He's a legend. He's one of the best players to ever grace the NHL, and he may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. So I guess that's about it. Later, guys. I am out of here.